Pacific Northwest is a lush, damp, and dreamy wilderness. From the ancient giant redwoods of Humboldt County up the rocky Oregon rainforested coast to the whale-infested Puget Sound of Washington, I was in heaven. I split a lengthy stay in the Portland area between soaking in gorgeous crystal-clear streams, blowing my money in vegan restaurants, and whipping my buddy Chris's ass at ping pong while drinking 1,000 Mexican beers. Portland is easily my favorite big city in America. If it had wheels, I could live there. I had so much fun in Portland, I forgot to take videos except these shots of my time in the forest an hour east of the city. I laid down next to a stream in a bed of ferns, one perfect beam of sunlight shining through the Douglas firs hitting me straight in the chest. I fell asleep for an hour and dreamed I was a bear talking to an old man about flowers. When I awoke, the green of the moss in the ferns delighted my spirit. I fantasized about disappearing nude into the wilderness and becoming a yeti. I reached the border of Canada sweating profusely under the armpits. Authorities always angered and terrified me. They must have sensed it. They flagged me off to the side and interrogated me for hours. They said they weren't going to let me in because I neglected to tell them I had a show in Canada. They said sit tight while they proceed to probe my phone, emails, text messages, etc. I visualized myself driving through Canada smiling. 30 minutes later they came back, gave me my keys, and sent me on my way. Just like that, I was in beautiful British Columbia. Never underestimate the power of visualization and wholeheartedly wishing. My stepdad used to always say, wish in one hand, son, shit in the other, and see which fills up first. Well, it's wishes. I wish harder and more plentiful than I could ever shit. Why would I shit in my hand anyway? That's weird. Unless I'm gonna throw it at a venue that double booked me. The solitude really began to get intense in Canada. It was a solitude I could get used to. The silence was purifying. My hair and skin started looking healthier. I think I'm allergic to people. Mountains and rivers seem to be the cure for any ailment. I pulled into Rolla, British Columbia to play my first Canada show. Rolla is a tiny town in northern BC about 4 hours from the border. My dear friend Patty owns the pub, and it was so good to see her again. We sat for hours and drank tea. She told me I needed to go to the Peace River immediately. There was a friendly bear there I needed to see. I borrowed her car and drove 40 minutes into the complete middle of nowhere to the Peace River. Sure enough, there was a beautiful black bear feasting on some wildflowers by the river. I watched him for an hour. Then I put on my wobbly boots with my new Canadian buddies Bill and Tyson. We threw back Godfather shots consisting of Canadian whiskey and Disaronno, chased with Molson's. Thanks to Evelyn, all the way from Brazil, doing the camera work. I offered to marry her for citizenship after my 5th Godfather shot. Then the night went blank on me. Mile marker 0 of the epic Alaska-Canada highway was in the next town over from Rolla in Dawson Creek, and it was time to tackle that beast. I promised Patty I'd be back next year, and I set out for Alaska. That's going to do it for this episode of Free, Wild, and Restless. I'm going to start putting out shorter episodes more frequently. Today's America's birthday, and I'm in Homer, Alaska right now, staring across the Kachemak Bay at the towering snow-covered Kenai Mountains and the glaciers in between them. A bald eagle, the symbol of America, looks on from a light post just above the camper, the almost full moon rising over the bay. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to be born American, to be born in the greatest land. And I'm not talking about the corrupt psychos that run this country and police the globe, spy on its citizens, and commit heinous false flags and other crimes against humanity. I'm talking about this land. There's no land I'd rather tramp around. It's a gypsy's paradise. She's probably the only girl wild enough to keep me coming back for more. America. Fuck yeah. Stay wild and free, y'all.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway, and down below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. There was a high wall that tried to stop me. A sign was painted, private property, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. I roved in rainbow, I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining, I was strolling, the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling. A voice was chanting, the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, oh, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Boston Harbor. This land was made